You all know I bore no heirs, but I have all my sons and daughters here with me today. On this rain-soaked hill, we are all one people, one land. Today we fight for Kislev. Today we fight for her lost sons and daughters, for her proud mothers and fathers. Kislev is people, and people are Kislev!
Well, Tsar Bokha was a man who preferred to lead from the front and was renowned for his courage and leadership. The Tsarina, in keeping with her icy powers, is aloof and remote, preferring to work through agents and generals. Only under the direst circumstances does the Tsarina join her armies, but when she does, it is often upon a mighty steed whose flanks shimmer with glittering ice crystals, and whose breath is the winter wind, or riding an armored sled, drawn by a team of identical beasts. On these rare occasions when she leads her army in battle, the devotion lavished upon her is beyond that which might be expected of such a remote and cool ruler. Her power over the elements is clear proof that the blood of the Khan queens flows in her veins. The Ungolls of the north fear and respect her as one of the ancient warrior witches from their oldest myths, destined to dominate over them in an imperious fashion. A time is coming that will see the Tsarina on many a battlefield before the year is out. Marauding tribes of Kurgans and Kayazak push south in ever-increasing numbers, united behind the banners of their Tsars and Hetzars. The sheer scale and ferocity of these raids has prompted the dispatch of a number of contingents from the Empire to aid Kislev. Artillery from Newland, mercenary companies from Tilea, Wissenland Pike, arquebusiers from Averland, Nordland halberdiers, knightly orders and all manner of troops from all across the lands. The writings of Anspracht of Newland names this time as the Spring Driving, an innocuous term that encompasses a time of unremitting horror and bloodshed. Masses of northern marauders are sweeping down into Kislev, butchering everything in their path. Many battles have already been fought, and the Kurgans have razed several towns and stanices. Choika, Zeherdrevka, and others that appear on no maps. The Polks, the war bands of Kislev, have scattered into the oblast, although many boyars are rallying their forces to fight once more. But as more and more marauders drive south, it is certain that the days of blood are not yet over. The blade Fearfrost has been passed down from Tsarina to Tsarina through the ages, from Khan Queen Miska of the Gospodors. Only a Tsarina can wield the blade, and were a man to lift it, he would find himself frozen to death within a heartbeat. The blade is infused with ice magic, and the intense cold can kill with a single scratch. The crystal cloak she wears is a swirling mist of dancing ice crystals that surrounds the Tsarina, warding off the most serious of injuries and confounding her foes' attempts to strike her. Katarin was born as the only child of Boris Bokha, the Tsar of Kislev during the turmoils after the Great War against Chaos. When Tsar Boris undertook the initiation rites to become a high priest of the cult of Urson, he disappeared into the wilderness, and hadn't been seen since for nearly 18 days. When it appeared that Boris was about to be presumed dead, the nobility of Kislev were moved to crown the still infant Katarin as the new Tsar of Kislev, until Boris, the regenerative Tsar, who contributed so much to rebuilding the nation, was later found unconscious yet alive alongside a mighty bear. With the weight of rulership thrown from her shoulders, the future Tsarina grew to become a powerful ice witch, some saying that she is the reincarnation of Khan Queen Miska, the first ruler of the Gospodors and the greatest of the ice witches. Tsarina Katarin was crowned in the imperial year of 2517 IC, when Boris met his end in battle whilst leading a band of warriors north of the Linsk into Troll country. At an unnamed river crossing, the Tsar charged deep into the Kurgan army of Hetzar Feaj, but was soon surrounded and cut off from the rest of his army. He and his bear Erskine fought with all the might and fury of the bear god, but even Red Boris could not triumph against such odds. Erskine was able to fight his way clear of the Kurgans and carry the Tsar back to the rest of the army, but it was already too late. The Tsar had taken a score of wounds, each enough to be mortal. Only when the battle was won did the Tsar slide from the back of Erskine and die. This mount roared in mourning for a full night before vanishing into the bleak Northlands, and legend has it that to this day Erskine continues to hunt down the creatures of chaos that slew his master. With the death of Tsar Boris, the now fully grown Katarin became the Tsarina of Kislev, the latest in a long line of rulers descended from the ancient Khan queens of the Gospodors, such as Ice Queen Miska. She rules with a cold majesty, beloved by her subjects and feared by her enemies, as all great queens are.
The strength of Kislev lies in you all. The land has called all our peoples here. And it is here that you will put that strength to the test, defying chaos. There is power in this land, and tomorrow it will run in your veins. Use it well.
From the icy fastness of her capital city of Kislev, the Ice Queen Katarin rules her land with aloof majesty. The daughter of the fiery and charismatic Tsar Boris Bokha, she ascended to the throne in 2517 IC. She is the latest in a long line of Tsarinas descended from the ancient Khan queens of the Gospodors, the powerful tribal group that migrated west centuries ago, and that became the dominant peoples of what was to grow into the great nation that is Kislev, comprised of many ethnicities of which they are one. A great wizard in her own right, her power is said to come from the land of Kislev itself, its icy soul and bleak tundra giving her command of the elements, and mastery of a form of wizardry known as ice magic. Indeed, some whisper that she is in fact the living reincarnation of the very first Khan Queen Miska. So complete is her grasp of this dangerous branch of magic. Upon her ascension to the throne of Kislev, it is said that the Bokha palaces have grown a new wing, half a mile long, made entirely from glittering ice. This wondrous creation would be beyond all but the most powerful ice mages of history. And it is here that Katarin remains for most of her time, granting audiences in an immense chamber of magically woven hoarfrost. Some believe that she simply prefers the chill of these frozen corridors, while others say that it is a display of her power to overawe would-be enemies and foreign ambassadors.
Please, like and subscribe, follow. Ooh.